Good evening, everyone. My name is Josh, as you all know, and tonight I want to give you a brief presentation about organ donation. So I first wanted to start tonight off by asking a question, show of hands, how many people in here are organ donors? Anyone? Okay, good. I wanted a mix of those who were and those who weren't. For me, I've always been an organ donor since the first day I received my license when I was 17, and it's been a topic that I always felt strongly about. And according to Donate Life America, an organization dedicated to educating the public about organ donation, the number of individuals that need organs continues to grow while the number of available organs stays relatively the same. So it's an issue that's increasing. And for me personally, the greatest gift you can give is the gift of life. So if I was to die in some tragic accident, if my death could benefit somebody else, it would be something I hope I could do. So with tonight's presentation, I want to give you an idea of the severity of the organ shortage, tell you what's causing this issue, and provide you with some solutions to the problem. So starting off with the severity of the organ shortage, according to the Department of Health and Human Services, there's currently over 100,000 people that are on the organ transplant list, as you can see here. And of those, over 6,000 people will die every year because they can't receive the organ that they need. To be more specific, about 18 people a day are going to die because they don't get the organ that they need. And according to the book, Organ Donation Opportunities for Action, there's a 1 in 5 chance that either you or one of your loved ones will need an organ transplantation at some point in your life. So a few of you in this room will either know someone or will personally need an organ transplant. And if you look at some of this demographic information, about 2% of the individuals on the organ transplant list are under 18. The majority are what's probably our parents' age, between 50 and 64. And if you look at this chart, over 3/4 of the organs needed are kidneys. And I feel it's important to mention that these charts don't take into account people that need multiple organs, and they don't take into account people that need things like skin or bone or eye transplants. So now that you have an idea of the severity, I'm sure you're all wondering what the causes are. And there are a few causes. The first are the many myths that surround organ transplantation. And I wanted to provide you guys with some facts that you can find on DonateLifeAmerica.com. First fact is anyone can be a donor, regardless of age, race, or sex. The second fact is the doctor's #1 priority if you are admitted to the hospital is to save your life. Many people believe that if you go to the hospital and you're an organ donor, they'll work less hard to revive you or save you, and that's simply not true. In fact, it's not until after you're pronounced dead that they even try to determine whether you're an organ donor or not. Which brings me to the third fact. Once you are declared dead, if you should happen to me, extra tests are actually done to be sure that you have passed and that your organs are usable for transplantation. The second cause I have here is donation is completely selfless. So, as you saw from the previous chart, about a quarter of the organs that are needed, you'd have to die to be able to donate them. So, what's the incentive if you're already dead to donate organs? Well, currently in this country there isn't one. And that brings me to the third cause, which is policy. And according to the book, The U.S. Organ Procurement System, A Prescription for Reform, the National Organ Transplant Act makes it illegal to buy and sell organs for the purposes of transplantation. Now, some of you may think that buying and selling organs is grotesque, and understandably so. But if you think about it, if family members of an individual that has recently passed or is brain dead could receive some type of financial benefit for the transplantation or donation of their loved one's organs, there would be more of an incentive. In addition, there's no incentive for healthcare providers or hospitals to seek out transplantable organs from recently passed individuals. So it's this, what is termed zero price policy, that is causing some of our organ shortage. So I'm sure at this point you're all asking yourselves, Josh, how can we solve this problem? And I believe that there are two solutions to this. The first one is a policy change to offer financial incentives to individuals, families, and hospitals. Now, although that might be outside of what we in this class can do, unless you're planning on getting into government and being a policy changer, I do feel it's important to mention this solution. In fact, according to a recent Wall Street Journal article titled "The Meat Market," countries such as Iran have effectively eradicated their need for kidneys because they offer donors financial incentives. So it is a viable option. But for this country, a policy change takes time and it's not in our near future. So the best answer for now is to increase awareness, as I'm doing for you tonight, and to make everyone know how to become a donor. Because the fact is, becoming a donor is easy and it costs absolutely no money. For instance, in New Jersey, you can simply tell the DMV when you go to renew your license that you want to become a donor. Or you can log on to DMV's website, found here, you select licenses, and organ donor, and you fill out your information, you're an organ donor. For people that live in other states, you can go to Donate Life's website, select commit to donation, and then just select your state, and it gives you all the information you need to know in your state. So, as you can see, becoming a donor is easy. If you decide that that is a decision right for you, talk to your families about it, make them aware of what organs you would or would not like to donate. And it's a process that anybody can do. So right now I'd like to segue into a video from professional snowboarder Chris Klug, and he discusses what it meant to him to receive his new kidney and meet the family of the donor. You guys hear it?
All the while they lost a young 15-year-old boy, in my case, in a tragic gunshot accident. And how do you thank somebody for giving you a second chance, and at the same time they've undergone a horrible family tragedy? And so I struggled with that whole concept of their gift and what impact that had on my life. And finally, about 5-6 months later, I was preparing for a World Cup in Oling, Italy, the same place I'm heading to here in a few weeks for the final Olympic qualification for the 2006 Olympics. And I was there in the Sud Tirol in the Dolomites of Italy. And I remember riding my snowboard. I was out free riding, having fun, and just kind of taking in the whole landscape. And it just hit me one day. I just said, "Hey, I'm out here doing this because of you." And I thank God and thank you every day for the second chance. And I just went home and typed out a letter and emailed it to the donor, the organ procurement organization. And they forwarded it on to the family anonymously. And then it was sort of the ball was in their court. If they wanted to contact me, then they had that choice. But that's one thing that's super important in the donor community, that the donor's rights are respected and not infringed upon unless they want to make contact. And so after they received that letter, they actually wrote me back, and then we ended up talking on the phone. And I met some of the donor family members, the aunt and the grandmother, for the first time the day after winning my bronze medal in Salt Lake City. So we all had a party at our house in Salt Lake City after that victory. I met them for the first time, and I was a little awkward at first. I didn't know how to thank them and really what to expect. I thought, my God, this is going to be so wacky, and they ended up being the coolest people, and I think we all shared in that victory, so it was a really special meeting.
So as you all just saw from that video, being an organ donor can and will change someone's life if something should happen. If something should happen to one of you. Sorry. So tonight I've gone over the need for organ donation, some of the causes for the shortage, and some of the solutions. So I hope that tonight, this weekend, you guys will go home, talk to your family about what I've told you tonight and about the possibility of becoming an organ donor. And together you might decide that being an organ donor is right for you and for your families. Try to imagine meeting someone who is alive today because they received one of your loved one's organs. Obviously, death of a loved one is tragic, but if another life can be given because of that death, in my mind, it would be the greatest gift that could ever be given.